Hello, Internet, and welcome to Red Jenny. We're here to play some Dragon Age and not talk anymore about Subnautica. Thanks for joining us here this lovely
Van's gonna
Monday.
riot.
I want to talk about crab squid
Van was sharing
and
images
Peeper
from the
and
Subnautica
Reginald.
wiki. Yeah, I know. Well, next season we'll do something subaquatic where y'all can meet
Please.
weird undersea creatures. Maybe we'll see. Yeah. So anyway,
Just like a
we're not
beach
doing-
episode, even we could do. I'd be fine.
We're not doing that today. Today we're going to be playing the Dragon Age TTRPG. Before we jump into it and get going with our heisting here, we're going to talk a little bit about what we've got going on this ding dang channel this week. Our next scheduled stream after this one, I believe, is tomorrow. Squire Squad tomorrow, I think. This
Forgot to
was
ask
Escape
Alex.
Velocity. I know. I'm gonna shot in the dark. Tabletop Tuesdays will be playing Masks tomorrow.
It seems right.
That it sounds right to me too.
I'll put it
we
in the
can ask-
Discord so everyone will know.
Well, Cedar, you're not playing Escape Velocity tomorrow, right?
Are you? Process of elimination. Yeah.
You popped it. Yeah, we're not playing tomorrow.
All right, that'd be
Mystery's
Squire Squad.
blown, Val. Thanks.
Well, if they followed the clues that we planted throughout last week's episode, I'm sure they figured it out. But yeah, we will. Those should be playing Mass tomorrow. That'll be our next stream. If you want to see what we're going to be doing throughout the week and all of our other shows, we've got the full lineup of all of our shows below our faces. If you're watching us live on Twitch, you can see what we're playing, when we're playing it, and who's going to be there. That's about it. I'm going to go and let my lovely players here introduce themselves, talk about who they are, what they do on and off this channel, and who they are playing tonight, starting with Van.
That's me. Hi. Picking up my cues because I'm paying attention. I'm Van. You can find me on the internet at Savvy Seaworth, pretty much wherever you can find people on the internet. I'm on Hive Social. I'm on Instagram, but mostly I hang out on Discord, in the GGK server, and a couple of other places, and on Twitch. You can find me Sunday nights on twitch.tv/LBHack'emUp playing Monster of the Week, where we're having a grand old time chasing a lizard in a wizard hat. Don't worry about it. And Thursdays through Mondays here on game nights, either playing in games or running them, like the Dungeons and Dragons game I run on Saturday mornings. Tonight, I am playing Venehn, who is an elven rogue. The shortest one in the party.
And I think that's me. Hey, I'm Christina Sid. You can find me on. Well, you can find me all over the internet. I don't think I'm gonna be much on the social medias for a little bit. I think I'll be taking a break. I'll still be in the GGK Discord, however, so you can find me there. But yeah, most of the time all over the internet, Greek Sid. I'm a GGK exclusive currently. You'll find me here Thursdays through Mondays. Thursdays, I run our Game of Monster of the Week, 7 o'clock Eastern. We are in our final mystery before we begin a 4th season of the Elegant Cinematic Universe. So come check that out on Thursdays. Tonight, I am playing Yasmera. Yasmera is a Kunari rogue. The
Horniest.
No, I did that one already. My brain's really not working today. I was
Grayest.
going to say the honoriest. To just grab onto my Missourian roots and bring them close to my heart. The honoriest in the party.
Sup, y'all? It's me, Wally, your favorite non-binary sign best friend on the internet. You can find me at WALE on whatever, social media stuff you like to use. You can find me on the Twitters there. You can find me there on the Hives. But I'm also chilling out in the GGK Discord talking about random stuff that's on my brain and my usual hyper focuses of this week. Don't really have one this week. We'll wait. It's still the week is still young. You can find me, playing here in all the games so far that they listed every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday. Tonight I am playing Garas, the only. I did one eye last time. The only ambidextrous rogue in the party. Yeah.
All right, and that sends it over to me.
Why are
Hi,
you
everybody.
looking at me so questionably, Van?
I had to
Have
really.
you asked?
I had to think about it.
Challenge it. Get in there. Hi guys, I'm John. You can find me at Mr. Wilt on the internet. You can also find me on Instagram because Instagram is not the internet, I guess, but it's a different name. It's john.ceta. Come check out all the yummy food I make. You can also find me here every Monday playing with these lovely folks. And as we mentioned earlier, you can also find me every other Tuesday at what time o'clock Eastern is it now? 8?
7.
So it's 7 here. No, it's 8 now for us for this game, but they start at 7. Yes,
They start
Yes.
at
Correct.
7 Eastern.
they start, yeah, we whatever. Come see me next week. It'll be fun. It's gonna be a blast. And you can also find me floating around sunk to the bottom of your bowl of Cheerios. Please be careful when you're eating. I'd prefer it if you didn't eat me as well. Tonight I will be playing Carter, the human mage and the ennui-iest of the group.
Was that a Honey I Shrunk the Kids reference?
The Cheerios, I didn't know, but it should
No,
have
the
been.
ennui. The ennui.
Yeah.
definitely.
That sounded like a How Nice With the Kids reference.
Honestly, both of them. Hi, everyone. I'm Val. You can find me at the Kraken's Crown, lurking around the internet. I am here Thursdays through Mondays playing running games. Other than this game, a running game on Saturdays called Ward 47, where we play Parslings, which is a deck building TTRPG. We just started our season 2, so come hang out with us for that. About to start our just finished up some interlude stuff. Had an epic game of paint, laser tag, paintball,
Paintball,
bowling,
escape
room.
Look, Double
Yeah.
Dare was put in the game. I'm here for it.
And I'm not
Yeah.
gonna spoil who won, but you're gonna want to watch it.
You're gonna want to watch it to find out. It also got weirdly existential. At
Well, yeah,
points.
RJ was there, so
Yeah, RJ was there. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. So you should check that out, the VOD or the YouTube video when it goes up on our channel. Are y'all ready to get started?
Yes.
Okay. So we're gonna do the same way we recapped last time, where I'm gonna give you all a chance to sort of recap the information that you learned, important things to you, and I'll fill in gaps as they come to me. But where we began, kind of setting the stage, is the gala, the ball at the Winter Palace here, had just begun. And as you kind of filtered into the ballroom, a number of important figures attending the ball began to spread around the room, having secret conversations, dancing, drinking, and the like. And knowing that you have a limited time to gather all the information you can and also plan your heist, you began to investigate. So what happened?
Are we just going in order? Is that what
I
we
don't
did
care.
last time?
Yeah. Last time it started in order, and then it also people just kind of added stuff as we went.
That
so I'm
sounds
sure if you
good
start,
to me. I'll start.
people will.
So Venehn started creeping around, trying to get a feel for Lady Janelle, who is the left hand of the Divine, her spy master, and what her folks were up to. Clocked a couple of her agents, I guess is the best word for them, out in the garden, passing a scroll between the two of them, and followed one, and while he was creeping around very sneakily and super well because he's great and talented, also saw Wolf following the same person, and so they made a deal to creep around and then come back together after dinner and share information about what they'd found. And we learned that Wolf was little and not at all huge like Blythe from Elden Ring.
I mean, that's what I was thinking the entire time. So.
I don't know.
I don't know why that my brain went there.
Because
Average height.
it's
Wolf
because
is
I'm
average height.
still hyper fixating on Elden Ring. Like even when I'm not playing it, I am thinking about it just at any given point. So if you say there's a man with a wolf mask, that's where I'm going.
Does it help at all if I confirm, because I don't know if I ever gave you the spelling, wolf is spelled with a U instead of an O?
That might have been it because I
No,
thought it was
because that
spelled
makes
with
me
an O.
think of Beowulf.
Okay.
I thought of WOLF. That's where my brain went.
I've been spelling it with an O this entire time, but
Okay.
I
That's
actually
fine.
have been spelling it with a Y and then a U with an umlaut, so
I've been
I was
spelling
just
it
completely off.
It just
JYULPH.
threw letters against the wall, and said, "Yeah, that's how you spell wolf."
That's usually how I try to spell things.
I don't know. German's crazy, y'all.
German's weird, y'all. It's real weird. As
Yeah.
Sita.
Sid, what did you guys get up to?
All right. Yaz was just sneaking around, taking advantage of people ignoring the serving staff, like life. And listened in on a couple of interesting conversations. The first between Garahil and the Duke Mont. Is that his name?
Duke Valmont?
Duke Valmont, yes.
Or no, he's Marquis Valmont. You're talking about the Duke, Duke Montfort.
Montfort, there we go.
It's
Yes, the
Marquis
right hand.
Valmont, yeah.
The right hand of the divine. Had to sneak in. I literally took point for point of the conversation. The Duke said something. Garahil said something along the lines of, "Thanks for your concern. We should speak on this." The Duke wanted to hear about what was going on with the wardens in Antiva. Garahil said that things were not good, that they were making the best of a bad situation, and that they would be in dire straits by winter if something was not done. The Duke then said, "What about the rumors of the fate of the royal family?" They had heard that it had not, in fact, been Darkspawn that the royal family fell to, and that possibly a coup had occurred prior to the Darkspawn attack. Garahil was a little cagey about this and said if that had happened, it would probably be best to use some discretion when talking about it. The Duke seemed to understand and thanked them for their time. Later on, Garahil and his sister Asaya, in their conversation, essentially confirmed that a coup did occur previous to the Darkspawn attack, and that was probably what happened to the royal family. That the true nature of things in Antiva probably shouldn't be spouted around. Hoping that overall it was not too late to help out the wardens in that area. Also, something along the lines of, "Did you see him?" Very much stressed. And yes, so for everyone's safety, they should probably maintain some distance from him. That's what I got.
Okay. Thank you, Sid. Wally, what did Garrus get up to?
So Garas decided to do a little bit of, eavesdropping on various conversations, and especially taking advantage of the fact that he's now a duke. And the one conversation that he was able to eavesdrop on was between Captain Amadis Vale and Marquise Valmont. The conversation that they had was Valmont was trying his best to secure mercenaries from Vale, and Vale was like, "Oh no, we already have all of our forces are focused on for the wardens." But he was like, "Look, I need this. I need to help protecting trade routes for some reason." He was very vague about it, but he said that no matter what you choose, I have the money to pay you for it, no matter what the price. Money is not an object. And after that, I wasn't certain if she fully agreed, but she said she would think about it. And after he excused himself from that conversation, he whispered to someone else saying that, "Get the contract ready. We will probably be using it later on." After that, Garas approached Amadis Vale and decided to weave in some intrigue and try to sway her away from working with Valmont by reminding her that just because he is willing to pay and support her company does not mean he is a good person and is someone that they should really keep an eye on and watch their back around, making the metaphor of the story of the scorpion and the toad. To which she said she would think about it and consider it. And I believe that and I believe Garas is now within, using the term loosely, good graces with her somewhat. After that, though, he then took to the dance floor with Carter to once again eavesdrop on another conversation that Valmont was having. This time with what was her name? Marquise Mentillion. Mm-hmm. During that conversation, he heard this and that about what they were going through. Once, right from the bat, Marquise does not like Valmont. She has a lot of aggression towards him, and the conversation ended after it seemed like it was heavily implied that he has information on her that he is using against her, and she turned around and called him, I think it was a snake or something, and then stormed off, heading off the dance floor. That's all I got. Oh, and Carter dipped Garas and made him feel beautiful.
Yeah, to impress a modest veil.
Yes.
Carter, it just leaves you. What did Carter learn?
Well, I mean, Wally really said the most important part was that dance. We cut a fucking rug on that floor. But I guess there were some other things too. We did, let's see, Yaz and I, through a couple of means, I think Yaz also did this. We were able to kind of narrow down which of the Empress's guardsmen is most likely, I can't remember his name, but one of our two
Remy.
Adnan Remy.
Yes.
Let's see. I guess I'm working backwards. So before that, Carter needed to get the hell out of his shell. He wasn't getting much done just by listening, so he went up to Asaya. Is it Asaya or Asaya?
I think I was
You
using
nodded.
Asaya. Issey. So I think I said Asaya.
Okay, so he went up to Asaya and started talking mage stuff to kind of make up for his lack of general social graces, which seems to have worked a little bit. There was some indication that there might be a future conversation between the two of them, which is good because Carter, through a couple of things she said in response to him, her and her brother might be aware, the Grey Wardens might be aware that there are darkspawn amassing in the Fae. She also said that she was surprised to find that their magics were not nearly as useful against the darkspawn as they'd expected. And in general, she just seems really worried about the state of the world. So that's gonna be some combo in having there. Other than that, I don't think I really got anything of use. I also kind of helped Sid with listening in on Garahel and Montfort, but I didn't get anything that stood out beyond from what they already said.
Yeah.
Oh, and I put it in the wrong spot because I'm just keeping track of the agenda. But we did, in the conversation between Asaya and Garahel, find out that the conversation of all of the higher ups and the big conversation will be happening after dinner.
Yes. Yeah. And yeah, just covering a few more things, kind of broad strokes. It is currently, you are currently in your third hour. Here, the Empress arrived at 8 o'clock when the royal, shortly after her royal guard, when you identified your target, and gave a speech to the attendees, addressing the current state of the world and making a sort of tenuous pledge to, or sort of vague pledge to assist the Grey Wardens, and that there would be talks tonight to solidify that. And Arlo was given his official charge as the royal musician and began to perform for the group. And yeah, so currently where we're picking up is we're a good portion into our third hour, so almost halfway through the the gala. Um, Garas and Carter had done their actions for this hour. Am I correct in that? And we were still waiting for, or at least their primary action for this hour. Yaz and Venehn still hadn't taken any actions yet. So that's where we can pick up, kind of setting the scene again, is Marquis Valmont had been dancing with Marquis Mentillon before they had sort of broke off their dance. You could take actions before that happened. Again, we're kind of playing pretty loose with time here. Arlo is performing. The Royal Guard is posted around the ballroom right now. The majority of them on the edge of the dance floor, near the stairs leading up to where the Empress's sort of stage is up there. And yeah, other important figures sort of scattered throughout the room. So, is there anything that Venehn, yes, you'd like to do in this for your 8 o'clock hour actions?
So I'm gonna keep following this person that I've been following. One, I really want to know what they're up to. And two, Venon's also using this as an excuse to get deeper into the palace to try to get around to the armory.
Okay. Um. Yeah. So, make me a do a perception check for me. Can't tell if that was a good or bad. Okay, not great. You, I said I was rolling that to see if you noticed anything else here, but you are sort of tracking this person as they have as they've been moving around. Last time you saw them, they were out in the courtyard. You see them actually moving into the ballroom as this dance is ongoing. However, they move around the edge of the ballroom and actually approach the stairs leading up to where like the Empress is, and they speak with one of the guards quietly for a moment, and then that guard steps aside and allows them to pass, at which point they don't head towards the Empress. Instead, they head around the edge of the balcony here and towards the royal apartments.
Okay. That guy's not gonna let me through. Or is he?
If you want to chat with Yaz, her plan was to kind of scope out a way to get up that way to drop things off. So you could talk to Yaz about that, aka she's scouting her way to go listen to that conversation, but she's not telling you that, so.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it. Let's make a plan.
Okay, the two of you want to get together. So you find Yaz wherever Yaz is around the ballroom.
Probably standing by the doors that go toward the servants' quarters, just listening, keeping an eye on things, watching people go back and forth, charting.
Janelle has people creeping around in the royal apartments.
Of course she does. Anyone in particular?
One I've been following for a bit. They're passing notes, messages, something. I want to get in there.
I did spot a possible route through the servants' quarters.
Sounds like where we're supposed to be.
We are here but to serve, of course. Come on.
If we can catch up to
Well-
them, I have a nasty idea.
I like nasty. Alright. Come on. And
Yay.
yeah.
Yas never just goes along with my plan. Says Venehn inside his own head.
Okay. So the
Yaz
two,
in her own head says, Van's plans never align with my own plans. This is perfect.
so you're going to go through like the servants' passages to find a route to the royal apartments. Okay. I'm not going to have you roll to find the passage. You've already done a bit of the legwork there. Yaz, you do. I think you find some less traveled passages currently that kind of head that direction. I mean, it makes sense, and just logically, there are passages that the servants use to go to attend to the royal family, and utilize these back passages in order to stay out of sight. As you come around these much more like cramped, sparsely decorated corridors with just a few like glowing candelabras illuminating your way, the sound of music behind you fades, and there aren't many staff members here. However, you do hear a bit of conversation coming from ahead, and as you skulk kind of around the edge of a curving corridor, you can see two guards. These are not the like Empress's Arms royal guards, but these are sort of house guards for the royal family. They are standing by the bottom of a spiral staircase that you would assume probably goes up into the royal quarters, royal apartments.
I'm not a talker. I'm a skulker. Any ideas?
I would do get help, but Garas isn't here.
I mean, we could switch it. Do you have experience being the one getting helped?
Oh, yeah.
Happy
Nah,
to oblige.
I don't know. It's kind of overplayed. I don't know. Looks around the corner. What's the quickest way to get a guard to leave his post but not cause a scene?
Nonchalantly make a loud noise in the kitchen. Something that could be easily explained away, but still makes a ruckus.
The kitchens are on the other side of the palace.
So this, okay. This passage that we're coming out.
Mhm.
Is this like a door at the end of the hallway, or like is there like a door or anything?
There are a few doors around this area. Where you are coming from was more of a straight, kind of gently curving passage with no doorways. You're just kind of like looking around the edge of this curve to where they're at. Where they are standing is kind of a an alcove where this staircase comes down at.
Okay. Creep into a room. Make a loud noise. Hide behind the door. Wait until they investigate. Leave the room, bar them in.
Simple, efficient. We won't have much time, though. They'll have to think that they got locked in accidentally.
It's alright, I'm sure we can get lost upstairs.
I like it. Let's go find something fun to break.
Okay. So you backtrack a little bit to the last doorway that you passed, and you push open this door to a small like storage room. There are some shelves scattered kind of towards the edges with you can see like different candelabras and drapery and stuff for like different seasons, almost like a fancy linen closet. Some statues, some chairs and stuff stacked up here, different furnishings that would be utilized for different
we'll need
seasons and
this.
occasions.
Yeah, is this a large enough room that we could play the stand behind the door and sneak out, or would we need to maybe make something crash, go into the room across the hall, wait until they run by?
Yeah, it's a fairly large
sneak?
room.
Okay.
I mean, this isn't like ballroom size. This isn't a expansive like chamber, but this is maybe size of a decently sized bedroom. 30 by 30 feet.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it. And the door opens in. Yes.
Yes,
We can
yeah.
hide behind the door. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sneak in.
How do you plan to bar the door from the outside?
What kind of handle does it have?
As a doorknob.
A doorknob? You'll break
Break it
something
off?
off inside. Yeah. Latch it shut. Break the knob off.
Break the inside knob off.
Yeah. Ahead of time.
Okay.
And that way they can't get out once they're inside.
You could do that easily. I'm not
You have a
gonna
big
make you roll for
weapon.
that.
That'll be our loud noise.
Easy.
So you're just gonna make a noise and see if you can draw them both off. Okay. All right, I'm gonna play this out realistically.
One of them is going to stay, and the other one's going to come and investigate.
So you both skulk behind the door, and after breaking
Oh, but
the knob,
when the other one gets caught in the door, then maybe the other one will come. So, okay.
I'm hoping
I have a
so.
plan. Is there another door across the way?
no.
Damn. Where's the closest other door?
Probably about like 20 or 30 feet down. I'd say there's actually a side passage about like 20 feet back down the hall in the opposite direction of the guards.
Is it just worth it for one?
I mean, we lock one of them in. And I only have to lie to
To the
one of
other one.
them and tell them, oh no, fucking idiot teammate got stuck in a closet. Go help him.
I like it.
And that's not even a lie. It's just true. That's the truth.
I like it. Yes, let's do it.
Okay,
Okay. So
this is a good plan.
the two
It's a
of
great
you
plan.
the two of you hide behind the door in here. And you like push a chair over or something, make a big crashing noise after
Make a
removing.
Yeah, push some furniture over, and then I like make like a low like howling sound, like shit, somebody's dog got in here.
And then, yes, breaking the doorknob off from the inside.
Okay. You do this, and a little bit of time passes before you hear some footsteps coming out from outside the door. You closed the door after you came in here and made the noise. Comes to the doorway and opens it. And as they open the door, it sort of pins you back near the wall, and you see a guard sort of step their way in, begin to look around, and steps a little bit further into the room. Have you both make stealth checks?
6 and a 6 and a 3 is 12. 3 is 15. 18.
17.
Okay. You both slide around the door.
I
and then-
also got 2 3s.
Oh, you stunted.
I did.
Okay. I'm trying to decide what this stunt would even be.
Is this a combat stunt? Is this a exploration,
exploration?
stunt?
I think it's probably closest to an exploration stunt.
Okay.
Anything you want to buy?
I mean, could we use advantageous positioning to really just slip out of there and silently get to just close the door? If not, I might use the object of your attention.
Which one are you? Did you say?
Advantageous positioning.
Yeah, we can go with that. I will say you can reposition yourself knowing that there's about to be some commotion. You're probably gonna have to deal with the other guard. You can position yourself where you would like to be for that exchange, whether that is closer to where that guard's gonna be coming from or further away.
I guess, like, to Ven. Do we want to look like we just happened upon it, or do we want to hide and just let him come investigate?
I think we look like we happened upon him in there, like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. Let's go get the other one.
Okay, so maybe a bit further down the hall, like you were coming back the other way. Okay, so you, the two of you duck out, closing the door behind you, and as you skulk down the hall a little bit, you then hear on the other side some like rattling noises, and then the dun 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 dun, and a muffled. The doorknob's, it's gone.
I loudly go, oh, not again. Head down the hallway.
And coming from the other way now has kind of like peeked around and is now coming from the opposite direction. Looks at the door and then looks up to the two of you. Says, "What happened?"
The doors in this area of the palace are, I would not speak ill of my ancestors' land, but poorly installed. Your friend is stuck again.
Comes up to the doorknob, begins to kind of like, because you didn't break off to the outside doorknob, but I assume you broke it in a way that it couldn't be.
I locked
guess if you
it
didn't-
and then broke off the inside doorknob.
Okay. Well, the only thing I was trying to say, we can make it work, and that the door won't open again. Maybe
I don't know how these doorknobs work. What do you want
maybe
from
left
me?
it. I mean, just a normal doorknob, But maybe you fiddled with it a way that you didn't leave the door. It was only partially closed. That's why he was able to come in, and then when you closed it, you're not able to open it again. So the other guard comes up to the door and begins to kind of like fuss with it a little bit and try to
Keep
open
walking.
it.
Yeah.
Hold on. Where are the two of you going?
Cleaning. I have to clean everything.
No one's supposed to go up into the royal apartments.
I'm
after
not
the
going
ball
up.
starts.
Just cleaning up your mess. I walk away.
Make a this be a communication check.
You want
Do you have any-
deception?
Deception would work.
Can I help him?
Did we decide whether there's an assist function in this game? I can't
Don't remember.
Don't remember.
I don't. Hold on. Let me look. There is a major actions. Shows defending on melee attack, range attack, run. Minor actions. I don't know.
If not, no worries.
I'll say you
I
can
can
give
do
a.
it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say you can get another +1 on your roll then.
Because of my nonchalantness.
Boy. I rolled double sixes.
Okay.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
Plus my 1.
That's with the +1, 19.
I'm trying to search.
Can I do a stunt?
Yes, you can.
Not an exploration.
This would be a role play stunt.
Role play stunt. I have 6 of them. 6 of them. Flirt?
Yeah.
Okay.
I change my tune slightly and I say, I'm not going to go upstairs. I'm going to be cleaning up your mess. Unless, of course, you wanted to come up with me. And I wink. And then I walk away.
What does the flirt give you?
Seduction versus willpower is all discipline. If I win, the character becomes enamored with mine, assuming gender preference compatibility, which I assume is Venehn assumes is everyone.
Uh-huh.
Naturally.
I tend to just assume everyone. As well. Everyone's super pansexual in every game that I run.
Yes.
Okay.
What exactly this means in the moment and how it might play out or fall apart in the long run are up to the GM or the player if you're targeting a PC.
Okay. So.
You've created an opening for romantic opportunities. That's only 4. I still got 2 other points.
What are the other points you want to spend?
I'm gonna also... I don't know. That's the only one I've ever done. I don't really need a bon mot. I'm gonna sway the crowd. So my interpersonal effects are so effective that they spill over onto others in the area, and you can affect one additional person. And I want to make that guy inside not pissed and not think that I had anything to do with it. This is a stupid use of my skills, and this is a dumb roll to have rolled 6 stunt points on.
I love this.
So I think the guard there kind of stops. He stops helping the guard that's been trapped inside as you're going past, because he's dealing with 2 things at the same time. You're putting a lot of immediate pressure on him as you are just kind of barreling past. And he says, and you make the flirt. You make your comment, and he gets a little flustered from this. I can't really leave my. Well, what mess are you talking up? And the guard inside says, you hear like, come on, just leave him be. Help, get me out of here. It's dark and I'm starting to feel sweaty. He gets more focused on the other guard, says, oh shit, I forgot about that. Just deep breaths, just calm down, hold on.
Is he afraid of the dark?
He's claustrophobic.
Oh, buddy!
Maybe he is. Now you have to deal with that.
No, I don't. Bye. I walk down the hallway and go up the stairs.
And you are successful in being able to get out of to fluster him enough to not think through what he's allowing you to do.
Now I've created an opening for romantic opportunities.
Sure. We'll never see these guards again.
I'll be back, Jeremy.
Yeah, the 2 of you make it to the staircase. I assume you're heading up. Okay.
No, I just stand here. Wait.
And you head up to the second level. I'll briefly describe what you find up here, and then I'll give Garas and Carter a chance to do something else if they might want to. You make it to the top of the steps. This door opens straight out into like one of the main corridors of the royal apartments, And as you open the door, you can hear the music a bit louder coming from your right, which would lead back to the ballroom. There is a carpeted walkway across the tile floors, big hanging drapery around big, massive window panes, small balconies leading out from these doored windows looking over the garden. The corridor is lit, very bright lit by the candelabras that are evenly spaced down its extent. And you can see to the left, there are some, the corridor seems to open up to more of like a foyer or something at the foot of a large staircase that would lead kind of further up to the royal apartments to another level, as well as a few doors around this this bottom level here. So as you actually, yeah, let's just go and do it this way. Assuming you don't just like barge out into the door, that you open it kind of quietly. Who's first? Who's the one that's opening the door?
Well, if I open the door, Yaz will still be able to see, so...
That's fair. You can
I'll
Scooby
open
Doo it. So Venehn, you open the door and you immediately kind of pull back as you hear some conversation coming from your left. And you look around the corner, and just before where this foyer kind of opens up, as you get into the royal apartments proper, you see the servant that you were following before. Or I should say attendant, not a servant. The attendant that you were following before is standing there having a hushed conversation with somebody out of sight.
Can we listen?
Perception. This will be our last official action for y'all for this. You can either push it for more. When we
I'm
come back
gonna.
here, or wait until the next hour.
Oh, baby.
Buddy, I don't want you in my lap right now. I don't want you in my
I
lap.
rolled a 16.
I rolled a 17.
Damn. It's all these
Okay.
pointy ears. They're like antenna.
You do pick it up, and you catch the bit of conversation. You gather they've been speaking for a bit before you arrived, and you hear the servant says, "Unfortunately, that's all I have, ma'am. I will try to see if I can find any more, but I already believe I'm being followed, so I shouldn't push it too much." For the rest of the evening, I'll try to keep a low profile and put somebody else on it. And you hear another voice, another feminine voice from around the corner says, "Somebody already noticed you. You really need to improve on your subterfuge, Lonson. No, not Alonson. That's the name. No, Arlonson works. Sorry, I was like, that's Arlo's name. I don't want y'all to think that this is secretly Arlo.
There's no way I would have remembered that was his whole name. You say it every session, and I never remember.
Yeah. She says, "Fine. This should do well enough. Keep an eye on him. See if he speaks to anyone else. I'd be curious what his motivations are. At the very least, we can report this to the Divine." And the servant gives a very stiff nod and a slight bow, and begins to head back down the passageway, and you kind of pull the door closed as they walk past. Assuming you pull the door closed as you walk past.
You have something else I want to do, but you said we were gonna have to push it, so I was gonna wait.
Okay. Well, we can wait. It'll stop there in case there's any other actions either of you want to take. Carter and Garas, is there anything that the two of you would like to get up to?
Garrus, do you need Carter for anything? Because if not, I think he's going to just kind of keep it cool for now.
Who has a point of ire, by the way?
just Carter, I think.
Is it just Carter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, which actually does mean that wicked cool dance move I pulled yesterday was 1 point lower than what I said.
Yeah.
Unless it was so cool that it got rid of the eye.
Ooh. No.
Hey, everybody's crazy about a sharp dressed man.
ZZ Top.
So, Carter, you're gonna play it cool and try to get some heat off you.
Garas is going to watch where Matillion stormed off to. I'm gonna push it, and I'm going to excuse.
If you need
myself.
my help, I'll come with. But
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good. Yeah. So I'm gonna look at Carter. Hey, Carter, I'm going to go talk to Mentillion because I need to know. I need to find out what was said, but what at least was said between her and Ventillion and Valmont. I feel like I just need to know. I need to know this.
I believe if you intend on pursuing this Valmont character, that may be a very wise first action. Is there any way in which I may assist you?
If anything, play it cool right now. You got a bit of eyes on you at the moment.
Understood.
Your fancy dance moves just drew a lot of attention towards you. Oh, that was a amazing move, by the way.
I have been practicing.
It always shows. It shows.
Thank you.
Just keep your cool and try to blend back into the crowd.
I believe I can do that.
He will then do a formal bow to Carter and excuse himself and make their way to where Mentillion stormed off to.
Okay. I think she's on the upper balcony looking out over the courtyard currently. And she's drinking a glass of wine. There are a couple of attendants around her, but nobody else engaging in conversation with her currently.
Okay. He will approach her being very calm, reserved, and make his presence known. Marquise Mentillion.
She turns quietly and gives sort of a polite smile in your direction, but you can see that smile does not reach her eyes. She is internally seething right now. It's not something you really have to get any sort of roll any empathy to. It's pretty obvious to everyone in the room. And she says, "My apologies, sir. I don't know your name or title."
My name is Duke. My name is Duke Venehn. Wow, I forgot his name already. My name is Duke Venehn. I am new to these parties, but I am not. How can I put this? Unfamiliar with several people here.
She, as you give it out, she says, "Oh, my apologies, Your Highness. I did not mean to be rude by not knowing you. I'm unfamiliar with you at these gatherings. Are you not from the region?"
Oh no, I'm a bit farther away. Like I said, this is my first time to one of these events. I guess you could call myself a bit of new money. I would, if the term would like to be thrown around.
Oh. Nouveau riche and a duke. That's very impressive.
Nothing to be impressed about. It's just more like I've stumbled my way into these situations, but I apologize, but I saw you having conversations with Valmont.
Her sort of polite exterior sort of drops a bit as you mentioned Valmont. She says, "Yes, unfortunate business. I apologize. The whole affair was out of line, and I did not mean to interrupt any of the festivities here tonight. I will need to take a moment to recompose myself. I apologize for
It is-
my behavior.
It is perfectly fine. I am just here to say that. And he approaches a little bit closer to her, kind of like close the gap a bit, so he can speak in that hushed whisper again, and takes a sip of his wine. I personally feel that the reaction you had in dealing with him was well warranted.
Before we go any further, I'm going to go ahead and make you make your etiquette roll for your second action of the hour.
So that will be an 18, but no stunts.
Okay, that succeeds. And she eyes you, and then kind of her eyes glance behind you to see to kind of gauge any of the if anyone else is watching, sort of just surveying the situation before she continues and says, I am not in the mood to play the game right now. If he sent you here as some sort of follow-up to his gross actions earlier, then I would prefer to be left in peace.
Actually, it is quite the opposite. I am here on my own accord. I myself do not trust that man one bit as much as I could throw him. He is a snake and someone who should not be trusted one bit.
Make a persuasion roll. Communication persuasion.
That's a 15.
Is that with your bonus?
Yeah, that is with the bonus.
Okay. From your daggers.
Oh, no. Plus with the daggers, that is a 19.
Okay. Because that would apply here.
Yeah.
She sort of, without necessarily gesturing for you to follow her, turns away and moves towards the edge of the balcony, where she just sort of stands there. Do you follow?
I follow her, and once I get to the edge of the balcony, I will take off the top hat and I'll set it down right next to me.
I was being forthright when I said I'm not in the mood to play the game tonight. What is it that you want?
What I want is that I've been noticing he's been trying to make certain types of business, but I will assure you, I'm not trying to play the game at all. What I am here to do is try to warn people, trying to make sure that people are very much aware of what the type of person that he is, the type of things that he does, the sneaky, underhanded things he does, and that he should not be trusted. And I understand. Once again, you're not here to play the game. But once again, I feel like I may be overstepping, but with someone of your level of importance here, I feel like that you could perhaps also do the same. You do not have to at all, but I feel like if I had some allies here to do what we can to get him out of here, so he could not make any type of business here, I believe that will not only ruin him, but it will save a lot of people here. Not just, and I'm not looking in the sense of business, but in their own safety and the things and the way of life and way of living in these areas. I am not certain what his plan is, but I can assure you it is not good. And I will be quite honest with you. I want to see him fail. I want to see him crash, and I want to see him burn. And I feel like perhaps we could work together to make this happen.
She doesn't look at you, but takes a sip of her wine and says, I believe you when you say you are not playing the game. You speak far too much for someone playing the game. If you've come here to warn me of the Marquis's behaviors or his reputation, then I can assure you that you are singing to the choir. I'm already far aware of the unsavory nature of his character.
I see. Then I ask you this question. And once again, it is you're open to answer the question. You're open to answer me. You can just simply walk away and bid your evening to me after I ask this. What was said between you and him on the dance floor?
Well, I suppose if you are new here and you have some sort of grudge from Valmont, I would be against Valmont. I would be a fool not to take advantage of it. So I will inform you of something that I'm sure most of the attendees at this event are already aware of. The Marquis has requested my hand in marriage, to which I have refused, but he seems insistent on the notion.
I see. That is quite a reason to react to such on the floor as you did.
Well, I'm not one so foolhardy to refuse the admirations or an arrangement of such with a person of power. I hold no... I am not a romantic, and I do not expect to marry somebody for the sake of love or admiration. However, in the case of the Marquis, there are too many unknowns. And I do not wish to contract myself in such an arrangement merely to be used as a pawn, as I'm sure are his intentions.
Of course, of course. Well, I apologize that you were put into such a precarious situation with him that it resulted as such.
Unless it was your idea, then I see no reason why you should be the one apologizing.
More of an apology of that you had to make your opinion well known like that to the rest of the crowd. It's a shame that he should have done such in private rather than put you on the spot like he did in public.
It is his way to rile up the crowd.
That is something I know way too well.
Before I answer any more of your questions, you will answer one of mine in return.
Of course.
What is your grudge against Marquis Valmont?
Garas pauses for a moment, and he takes a sip of his wine, and he swirls it in the glass for a bit. A very respected gentleman. Because of him, he has lost a lot of respect that he worked very hard to obtain. And I am doing my best to make sure that man gets that respect back.
So revenge.
That is yes, that is the word you could use for it. Yes.
Well, I suppose I can rely more on the anchor of revenge than the shifting sands of financial interests of coin.
Yes, I will be honest with you. Money does not mean anything to me in this situation.
I don't know why it is I believe you, but I do. Fine. I can tell you what I know of Valmont. You may use it for whatever you want, but I can promise you that though he holds the title of Marquis, his power stretches much higher than that.
Well, any information you have, I'll be more than happy to use it against him in any way possible.
She finally turns to look at you and kind of sizing you up. Very well. You're new to Val Royale, so I will at least give you this. Valmont's dealings and his wealth, they have a far more insidious nature than he would want anyone here to admit to, though most in this room, I'm sure, are aware of it. If you want to get to Valmont, you'll need to strike him where it hurts.
The man has money that he has very deep pockets.
Never deep enough for him.
One more question, madam. No one knows where his money comes from. Do you know where at least a fraction of his income is procured?
Oh, I know where most of his income is procured.
See. And that is...
If I do all the work for you, how sweet will your revenge be?
Garas can't help but chuckle at that.
I advise take a trip to Valrio when you have the time, Your Highness. Inquire with, well, any illicit patrons of the city, and they may point you in the right direction.
See. Thank you for your time. I will take my leave if there is nothing else you have to inform me about.
No, I believe I've said far too much already.
Then you have a lovely evening tonight, madam. And he takes his hat, puts it onto his head, gives her a very formal bow, sips his wine, and turns to leave.
You as well, Your Highness. And she remains.
Okay.
We'll go back to Venehn and Yaz. You had additional actions you wanted to take this evening?
Yes.
Okay.
So I like the end of that conversation that they were listening to. Venehn like pulls the door closed very quietly, wheels around, just looks up at Yaz and goes, "I have an idea.
What?
I told you it was nasty. We made more than one forgery, right? Of the notes.
We made a few just in case. Why?
I'm going to give one to the attendant.
To make friends? I don't.
For a straight shot into the armory. I am going to put valuable information in the hand that reports to the hand of the divine.
And in exchange, what? Go and investigate on this information ourselves. Make sure nothing's been tampered with already.
Exactly. We got this information. Wouldn't it be prudent if you were the one to report it to whoever you report to, and in exchange, get to look at these weapons without anyone knowing there might be forgeries?
Well, you happen to have an expert in armaments right here with you. I mean, you can tell him that at least. I don't know shit really, but I can, trump it up, make it seem like I do.
You look smart.
I try.
We should do this more often.
Yes. Again, how many times have you done Get Help? It just...
Too many. But it's fun.
Alright, let's go.
So the
Quietly shoulder the door open and
you
follow
approach.
Arlon's. other
You
one.
want to follow them as they pass, heading back towards the ballroom.
Yeah, I just want to catch them before they actually leave the fancy quarters.
Preferably not catching them while whoever they were talking to is around.
Okay.
I'm
you-
assuming because they're sneaky that they didn't have that sneaky conversation and then start walking the same way and they go, oh
No.
yeah, you're parked
No,
out
no,
here
no.
too.
Whoever they were talking to either went further into the royal apartments or went somewhere else because you don't see them as you come out. But you, I'm gonna have you both make your etiquette rolls.
Casual stroll. What is the roll again? It's
Etiquette communication, and you need a 15.
On the dot again, friends.
Nice.
My communication's a +1. I rolled a 13. 15 on the dot.
I also rolled a 15.
Damn.
Alright, communication +2. I'm rolling pretty good. I'm so afraid that this conversation is going to be the one that sinks me.
Okay, so you quietly slide out and begin to approach them from behind. I think if you're not trying to like sneak up behind them, within a few steps of following, they turn and they see you. And there's a moment of like hesitation as they stop, and you can see like their hand just kind of reflexively moving towards their side. And they give a smile.
We're very
and they-
clearly unarmed.
Yeah.
Just nonplussed, shoulders crossed, arms crossed.
Like, we also do this for a living.
And they give a polite smile and a nod in your direction, but they don't engage in conversation. They just begin to turn and walk, continue the way they were walking.
Arlonson?
They stop,
I'd like a word.
turn back towards you and say, how can I help?
Is there somewhere we could talk?
Can we not speak here?
Do these walls have ears?
I see no unwanted appendages on any of these walls.
Oh, I see. Okay. I'll be straight with you. You work for the left hand of the divine, yes?
I am an attendant to the Duchess.
So you seem confident in yourself. You could bend her ear, have her attention, present her with information, and she would trust you.
If you're looking to pass along a message to Duchess Janelle, then I'm sure that I could get it to her.
Oh, I am. But I'm a paid courier. And this message is particularly sensitive.
Who do you work for?
Well, strictly speaking, points to Yasmera.
And who are you?
You can call me Federa.
She's a scholar. Smart one. Important one.
I've never heard of you.
Well, you don't look like
And
the
I'm-
scholarly type.
That also means I'm doing my job right.
We're here to do some investigating on behalf of the Empress. But would rather not cause a panic. However, the way you look at us shows we're pretty obviously not supposed to be here, so I make you a deal. Something is rotten in the Empress's guard, and I have proof.
If you work for the Empress, then why would you not be allowed to be here?
Because it is in the Empress's best interests that she does not know every shady hand that works for her. I'm sure the Divine would feel the same way.
What is this information you have, then?
Well, if I just tell you, then you don't get anything.
What do you want?
I want you to take us to the armory. Our scholarly friend here has some investigating to do to make sure everything is as it should be in there. But like I said, we don't have to cause panic. In exchange, I give you hard written proof that something is terribly wrong with one of the Empress's main guards and his loyalties. Maybe even, perhaps, two of them.
Make a deception check.
Okay, that's 4 stunned points. I've got
You gonna make this person fall in love with you too?
maybe 6, 10, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
That's really good.
4 stun
Okay.
points.
What stunts would you like?
Oh, I feel like it's irresponsible to spend all 4 of them on flirt. I'm trying to get the thing to load. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna use 2 of them on and another thing to weave a second thread of conversation into the primary interaction that called for the test, because I've got the letter that throws Adnan and Remy under the bus, but no mention of the second guard that we were gonna also throw under the bus because we're gonna steal 2 of them and leave 2 forgeries. So I said there's 2 of them, and I will, like, as a show of good faith, name drop the other one,
Okay.
and then
You can
say,
play that out. What's
That's not all.
the second thing that you want?
oh, fucking, I don't remember her name though. Sid does.
Dia
I bet.
Michelle. Or Dea Michelle.
From Glee.
From Glee.
Is that a character in Glee?
With that
Leah.
main actress, Leah Michelle.
Dea Michelle.
It's
The one who can't read.
Mikhail,
Oh, Mikhail, excuse me.
Michiel.
Dea Mikhail.
L'chaim. Sorry.
I will just say, because I've said, no, that's stupid. No, I'm going to say it, because Venehn would say it. He wouldn't think about it. He would think it was great. So, I can prove, at least, how the Empress's favorite cards are up to no good. If you could deliver that information to your boss, who seems to be doubting your abilities a bit based on what I heard, it would be quite a good day for you, no?
You doing a jest or no? That's 3.
No, it's and another thing, and I'm dropping her name.
Yeah, but what was the other thing? I was
I
I was
didn't
waiting for the
decide.
second thing you were gonna
I
buy
didn't
too.
decide. I just thought of that and had to do it immediately.
I mean, you could
Is that
make
also a
bon
bon
mot.
mot?
I mean, that is a
kinda
bon
seems
mot.
like a bon
Okay.
mot.
That's a bon mot.
Yeah, I don't think I want to do any of the other ones. So
Okay. You
And
just
I have
spent 2
4.
on bon mot.
so I'd spend 2, and she's like really into it.
Okay, so this is how she thinks for a moment, and they you can see them growing kind of exasperated with this conversation, and say,
But it's a perfect witty remark.
"No, it is, but people have different reactions to those sorts of things. This has a
My
positive
humor's too
reaction.
highbrow.
A positive reaction for you is it causes them to kind of drop their facade at this point and say, "All right, let's be frank with each other then. Show me what you have. There are 2 of you and 1 of me. I'm not going to run away with it, but I need to verify before I bring any of this to the Duchess. As far as getting you to the armory, I can't do that.
I'm sure you know someone who can.
Perhaps. But I'm not going to bring this to the Duchess until I've seen the proof.
The answer will be you can get me to the armory somehow, or you don't get the proof.
If you're not going to at least let me visually verify it so I can understand what we're dealing with, then this conversation's over.
I just want your word that you'll try.
You have my word.
Okay, I'll show her the letter.
You hand them the letter and they run away. No, you hand them the
No,
letter
they don't.
and,
Super don't.
And they look it over and raise an eyebrow. Hand it back to you. Interesting.
You get us to the armory, I'll give you a copy.
I know where the armory is. I can't get you inside. Only the royal guard have keys to it.
The keys are the thing you're worried about.
And what do you plan on verifying once you're in there?
You read the letter.
Yes, but their hands are already in hand. All the royal guard are present.
You won't be there all night.
And that doesn't mean other elements have not already been taken and replaced.
All right. I show you to the armory. I walk away with the letter.
Deal.
Follow me. And they lead you around and upstairs. Or no, not upstairs. They would lead you to the to that same foyer that you saw them speak with somebody previously, and then they head off to the left, falling down another passage, which actually has a staircase that leads downwards. This area is a little bit less adorned, a little bit less well lit. They have not lit all the candelabras illuminating this passageway, so it's a little bit darker. And then finally reaches a rather ornate looking door near the end of this hall that is set into kind of an alcove in sort of a semicircular junction of two hallways. And here you see essentially it's a rather nice looking wooden door with a gate in front of it. Here's the armory.
Thank you.
And
Here's the letter.
thank you.
Though I'd advise you don't go running straight to your lady with it. You don't ruin the party.
Should get this information in due time. Wish you luck in your investigation.
Word of advice.
Mm-hmm.
If you realize someone has clocked you, don't look them in the eye.
I'll keep that in mind. And they go walking off down the passageway away from you.
Oh, this is so much work being cool.
Well done.
Thank you. How are we going to open this?
Fuck if I know. Start looking at the gate, the door.
There's rather
All anybody
hefty-
said was they wanted me to get into the
yeah,
armory. I've
there's
done
a
it.
rather, There's a rather hefty looking lock in front of you, and then you imagine the door leading inside is also locked. But with a less impressive looking one. However, it is at this point that you hear the clock or the bell begin to chime for the 9 o'clock hour, and we will be moving in to dinner time. So, those of you in the ball,
dinner until 9 o'clock.
yeah, it's a fancy party.
So late.
It's very European. Very European.
That is very European.
So those of you that are in the ballroom, which I guess would just be Carter and Garas at this time, there is an announcement that is made to the room, and the room begins to many of the attendees begin to file out towards the dining area. The royal guard, along with the empress and the other attendees of the royal family, leave the balcony. They do not head along the ballroom. In fact, they head back towards the royal apartments. But they, are the two of you moving to the, well, I'll just assume that you're moving with the crowd, and then you can decide where you want to go. Everyone files into the dining area and are escorted to their seats by a small army of serving staff as they are seated. Wine glasses are filled, and the room begins to be served. Essentially, it's a large dining room hall here. There are a number of circular tables all seated throughout the room, and then there's another upper balcony with a long rectangular table up there, and that is where the royal family actually comes out, and the empress comes and sits at the seat of that table along the balcony at the center of it, facing out towards the room. So that is where most of the royal guard is at that time. Many of the other attendees enter the room. However, there are a few notable differences. Notable absences. Most notably, Marquis Mantillion and Duchess Janelle are not in the dining room currently. They do. They have not appeared to have come to their seats. The only other sort of notable incident that is currently going on as people begin to be seated is Duke Fontaine, who is just as drunk as you would imagine at 9 o'clock, actually kind of pushes past one of the other attendees and sits down next to Garahel to begin engaging him in drunken conversation. Yeah, that's kind of what's going on right now.
Oh boy. Garas, is the Duke sitting in like at least a bubble nearby Valmont?
Is the Duke, or is who sitting near?
Is what's his name? Is Duke Fontaine sitting anywhere nearby, like Valmont? That because Garrus feels like he has to sit next to the Duke to at least keep up this appearance.
So here's what happens as you are getting seated and getting your people are beginning to kind of settle in. You see Duke Fontaine, who has been sitting next to Garahel, begins to get a bit louder in his talking and a bit more heated, and you listen as he actually begins to, with words slurred, begin to disparage Garahel and the wardens for not doing their job in Antiva. And says, "You let the royal family die, and I don't see why you wouldn't do the same here. Why should we trust the wardens for keeping the peace? I just don't see the point." And he like spills his glass on the table. Garahel's kind of moved back, is staying pretty stoic. I mean, he's a soldier. He knows what he's not in any way threatened right now. But the room begins to get a bit uncomfortable here. And you see up on the upper balcony, Stoiber actually looks down the line to one of the other royal guards, and the youngest, I'll just go and say, Den and Remy, along with Lavia Lupina, actually leave the balcony. And as the Duke is continuing to berate Garahel, the two enter the ballroom and move over, and you see Lavina places a hand on his shoulder. He kind of says, "I'm not finished talking yet." At which point the two of them kind of grab him firmly by the arms and begin to escort him out of the room. As he's yelling, he says, "Where are you taking? I haven't even begun eating at this. Where are you taking me? Cousin, please!" And they are taking him out of the room, and you can hear his shouting echoing down the hall. But he has been pulled off back towards the royal apartments. And filling the seat that he was at, actually Marquis Valmont moves to sit next to him.
Okay. Is there like
before you make your action, because I want to give you time to think, this is probably the best time to take a break.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and break here, and while y'all can think about that and the actions that you wish to take, and we will come back in a few minutes to continue our session. So everyone, relax, go get some water, go stretch, whatever you need to do, and we'll see you back here very soon. And welcome back, Internet. Thanks for hanging out with us while we took our break.
Monday.
All right, let's jump back into it. So we've set up some drama going on. There was some talk about where you want to see. So I think first we'll start off with, as all this transpires in the dining hall, as people are being seated, Carter and Garas, what are you doing?
Okay, having watched that little drama go down with Fontaine and Valmont coming in to sit with Garahel, Carter is going to turn to Garas and say, My friend, I think I have an idea as to how to progress your desires against Belmont.
I am glad you have one because of what just happened. My entire plan went right out the window. And actually, he was escorted off the grounds. That's actually what happened.
He will discreetly put a hand on your shoulder and say, "Do you trust me?
Of course.
Make yourself sparse. Do not speak with me again this evening unless we are unseen."
Okay. And what do you plan on doing?
I will ingratiate myself with the Lord Valmont as Sebastian Ducartier. He has access to resources that I would need, and I would offer him the assistance he desires.
Okay. I will give you some information that I've obtained is that not many people know how he makes his money. But one thing that is for certain, he has certain ties with those in Val Royale. Not of the well-known kind, but more of the illicit kind. If you could somehow get that out of him.
I will do my best.
He nods, and he will pretty much just walk away from Carter like he didn't even have that conversation with him.
All right. Well, we can start with Carter then. Carter, you're gonna sit yourself at that table.
Yeah.
Next to
Is
Valmont.
Asaya also at that table?
Yeah, I'd say Asaya, Garahel, are both sitting next to each other. So Asaya's on one side of Garahel, and Marquis Valmont is on the other side.
Okay. I'll approach their table, take a deep bow, and say, "Forgive my improprieties. Would it be all right with you if I joined your table?"
Was it you introduced yourself as? It was it Marquis or
Comte.
Comte?
Yeah, Comte Sebastian Valentine. I forgot my third name, Ducartier.
Yeah. Isaiah looks up and recognizes you and says, "Oh, Comte de Cartier. Of course. Please sit." Where do you sit yourself? Do you sit yourself next to her, or do you sit yourself next to Valmont?
I would like to seat myself. I think I'm less concerned with how close I am to Valmont. I want to not necessarily be directly across the table from him, but be kind of seated in an angle where we can see each other's faces more or less while we're speaking without having to.
If you sat next to
around.
Saya, you'd be kind of at a slight angle, be able to see him and also be able to engage in conversation. So you sit next, and Garahel looks to you and gives a nod and says, "Comte, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance."
Yours as well, hero of Antiva.
Please, Garahel is more than appropriate here. And the Marquis Valmont doesn't really address you, but just gives like a polite nod in your direction before re-engaging in conversation with Garahel. Sort of privately begins saying, "I'm apologize, Garahel, for the impropriety of some of our compatriots here, and I'm sure that that was not what you wanted tonight." And Garahel turns to him and says, "Well, it's understandable. I can empathize with his concerns, given our new relationship here with the Empress. What happened in Antiva was very unfortunate, and I will take my share of the blame for being unable to provide our protection for the royal family there." And the Marquis says, "Well said, well said. that being the case, and some of the servants begin to come around and begin to, they all stand like in unison, coming into the filing into the ballroom, each carrying 2 plates, and they stand behind, and then in unison all present the first course at everyone's tables in a elegant ballet of fine dining. And the as the food is presented, and there's a bit of sound of silverware being picked up, and food being enjoyed as conversation fills the room, and he leans in and says, "I do have some interest about the wardens. Is it true that you still hold a stable of griffins for your use? I wasn't sure if that was just a rumor or if that was actually true." And as he begins to eat, Garahel says, "It is very true, my lord. We have tamed and utilized mounted griffins for many of our incursions. However, I'm afraid that we suffered heavy losses during the siege in Antiva, and I fear that their population may not recover from the losses we sustained. We may see the last of the griffins in this blight. Actually, some scholars have theorized." And Marquis, sort of a little bit over exaggerates, says, "That is just a shame. They seem marvelous creatures. Do you breed them yourselves, or have stable hands that handle the care for these beasts?" And Gail says, "Oh, yes, we have just the same. You have horse masters. We have griffin masters that handle that. They're attempting everything they can to again encourage the reproduction of those that we have left, and see that the population sustains or flourishes." And he kind of breaks, and Marquis nods and sort of understandingly, and continues to eat. Is there anything you'd like to do during this?
Yeah, after they reach a pausing point in their conversation, I will give like that little 7-second lull, and then I'll turn to Valmont and give a formal introduction. I'll say, what is he, Marquis?
Yes, Marquis.
Yeah. Marquis Valmont, I believe. Is that correct?
And Fisher Bison nods and says, "Yes, forgive my manners. Yes, I am Marquis Valmont. I believe I caught your name as Comte de Cartier."
I am Comte Sebastian Valentin Pascal de Cartier, last of the House de Cartier, guardian of the Western Front against the Teventer forces. It was an unfortunate circumstance that my house was destroyed while I was at war. It has, forgive my impropriety again. It has been many years since I have played the game, but it has come to my ears that you might be seeking forces to help secure your trade routes.
He it kind of catches him a bit off guard, but he sort of composes himself by taking a drink, and then setting a glass down. He says, "Well, for being out of the game, you certainly are well informed. Yes, we are. I was having a conversation with your dear friend, gesturing to Garahel, a modest veil, about that very subject here today, and I believe we'll come to an amenable arrangement with the Ruby Drakes. Yes, that is part of my agenda here for tonight. If you don't mind, of course, I can never leave business fully at home whenever coming to these events.
No apologies are necessary. I myself find business is sorely on my mind this evening. As I said, House de Cartier has been wiped out. However, as the remaining heir, it is not just my desire, but my duty to rebuild it. My skills as a mage are well known on the western edge of Orlais, and perhaps, well, there is no disparaging words to be made about the what were the ruby drakes, crimson
Yeah,
knights,
Ruby Drakes.
ruby drakes. There is no asperging comments I could make about the ruby drakes. However, I could assure you we could make a mutually beneficial arrangement as well.
Make a. It sounds like persuasion.
Look, yep, I know it is.
It kind of strides that line between persuasion and deception. If you have a focus in either one of those. Okay.
Just a second. Yep. Boop, boop, boop. Holy crap. 14?
That's pretty good with no bonuses.
Yeah. With 5 stunts.
Okay. What stunts do you want? Because that might sway things here.
Yep, let me pull that up real quick. Spells, basic,
Flirt.
exploration. Flirt. Yeah.
Flirt, Garas, flirt.
Yeah,
There we
I
go.
mean, you could afford any of those on the list.
Let's. Yeah, flirting, tower will, enrage, no. Chest, no. Hmm. So I think I'm going to do and another thing.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to kind of weave in. I'm going to talk about some of my old war buddies that are nearing the end of their service, and how many of them have said that they'd be more than happy to come on as a house retinue if I rebuild my house, and maybe drop a couple of names of people that I actually know of as criminals in Orlais.
Oh, okay. We didn't do this before, but you do need to make an additional test for the second thing. So go to roll again too for that second point.
Right.
We'll just go ahead and weave that in here.
Great.
Yeah, I fucked that up earlier. That's my bad.
No, it's okay. I meant to do it earlier, then I forgot.
12.
Okay. And then you have 2 more stunt points you could spend.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Okay. He considers your words carefully for a moment and says, "Well, that is a very generous offer. I had some business to discuss with Warden Commander here, but perhaps you and I should speak more on this subject later.
That would be a pleasure.
Let's speak after dinner. We talk more privately about not bore everyone here with our business arrangements."
Of course.
And you can see him, like, again, kind of giving an eye and a nod to you, like something struck a chord with him, and he turns back to Gerhal as they're begin their conversation again. Eventually, it turns and he says, another course is brought out, and the tables are cleared. And as you're continuing to eat, he says, "On the subject of the griffins, again, my dear Warden, I did have a proposal. Again, not to belabor, so business passed after dinner we discuss. I'd been very interested in my own endeavors, mostly for self-defense, but also for the preservation of their species, procuring a few griffins of my own. Is that something that would be possible or amenable to you? Or could you put me in contact with somebody I could discuss this with? And you see Garahel sort of stops in that moment, like mid-bite, and looks back to Valmont making eye contact, and then turns back to the table smiling. He says, "Surely you jest, good sir. I'm afraid such a thing would be grossly inappropriate for me to discuss here. And quite impossible, I promise you." And Valmont says, "No, surely if it's a matter of price, or perhaps I can promise you that I could offer any support I could." And Garahel interrupts and says, "I don't mean to interrupt, my lord, but no. This will not be a subject I will discuss with you." And he returns to eating, at which point Marquis Valmont sort of takes a breath and finishes by says, "Well, I find myself quite full. I'm going to go for a walk. Please excuse me." And he stands up from the table and leaves.
Do Garahel and Asaya seem like they... Oh, actually, yeah, I'll use some spiritness on them to see, especially if they feel awkward now sitting with me after that conversation.
You caught, so the emotion you caught from Garahel in that, are you using your emotion reading? Is that
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
Okay.
After Velmont leaves.
Yeah, from Garahel you just got pure like indignation, like it just offense from the comment that was given, or the proposition that was made. And he almost seems like relieved now that he was that Valmont is gone. And Isaiah, residual awkwardness, but that was before Valmont left. So,
cool.
No, I mean there are other people at the table too, but they don't. Yeah, they are not. I don't think uncomfortable by your presence.
Okay. I assume that anything beyond this would be a pushing action.
Probably.
Cool.
Anything other than polite conversation. Here.
What's the DC for that now?
17.
Ugh. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Somebody else's turn.
Okay. Before we go back to Venn and Yaz, where is Garas going?
So Garas is going to the younger royal guard. They left the room, correct?
Yes, Adenremy and Livia both escorted the Duke Fontaine back towards the royal apartments.
Okay. Garas is going to...
Oh wait, let me check.
Yeah, because I was
the grand apartments, not the royal apartments.
Okay.
Yeah. So that would not be an area that would be off limits.
Okay, because we need to get information about this youngin. Garas is going to head after them in a bit of like a little bit of like a oh dear kind of way, kind of like posing like I like, you know, oh my gosh, I'm very sorry for what's happening kind of way.
Okay. Yeah, you can catch up with
Get
them.
your best friend out of the trunk tank.
You can. So they are taking him back towards. You imagine his quarters in the grand apartments, which is near the royal apartments, but a separate wing. And yeah, you can catch up with them pretty quickly. They're moving pretty slowly considering how drunk he is. And you can catch a bit of his like muttering and berating of them for doing this, and catch a bit of their words as Livia says, "This is on her Empress's orders. Please come with us." But you're able to catch up as Adenin turns and sees you approaching, and not in an aggressive way, but just holds up a hand towards you and says, "We have it covered."
Are you certain? Because I apologize for the Duke's actions. I did not expect him to drink so
Fontaine
heavily
turns around
this
and says,
evening.
Duke, where have you been all night? My good lad, my chum. Please explain to them this has been a big misunderstanding, and they don't need to take me anywhere. I haven't even eaten yet.
My dear friend, you have partied a lot tonight, and I think it might be time for you to maybe sit down and sweat all this off. Perhaps they're doing you a good favor for this. You do not want to embarrass yourself any further here.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh! I got 3 stunts, guys. That is a 17.
Okay. You said you got some stunt points. What do you want?
Yeah, I got 3 stunt points. So this would be roleplay stunts.
One short to flirt. Damn it.
I know.
They should have made flirt the 5 stunt point.
Since he's drunk, is it only 3?
No.
No.
I tried.
Is this going to be going towards the Duke, or is this going towards the guard?
This is going towards the Duke, unless you could use sway the crowd, and it could affect the others there too.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to use sway the crowd for this one.
Okay. So you affect 1 additional person of your target. You stunt multiple times on the same roll. Just use no opposed test. You expend anyone who has a higher ability. Okay, gotcha. So yeah. Who do you sway?
I'm definitely going to sway the younger rookie guard.
Adenin.
Yeah, Denon. And as I'm saying, it's like, I understand you're having a very fun night. This is a party. You want to hobnob and speak with all your friends tonight, but you don't want these guards to be taken away from the very important duties they are doing today, especially those who are new to especially on their first big job taking care of the Empress. So
You can see Adenin getting a little uncomfortable at that comment, and the Duke says, I'm getting a bit tired. Maybe resting for a bit in my chambers would be good, so I can come back and continue to enjoy the evening.
Yes.
You know what, my good Duke, my oldest and dearest friend in the world. I can see the wisdom of your comments.
He's not gonna remember your name in the
he's not
morning.
gonna remember my name at all.
I know that he's gonna go full White Lotus and become obsessed with you. Be careful.
The 2 guards sort of pause. He's becoming a little less resistant and nod, and he turns and says, I believe my quarters are just at the end of the hall here. I don't remember these halls being so long. Or
Would it benefit?
Hey.
Perhaps would it benefit that if I, to leave one of you of your duty, and I could at least help you escort my friend to his quarters.
The 2 guards look to each other, and Aden starts to say, yes, I believe only one of us was charged with keeping tabs on him. And Livia before says, yes, very well, you will keep an eye on our dukes here, and I will return to my duties. And he kind of balks at that and says, and she says, as your superior, I believe this is only fair. And she begins to move off with a slight smile on her face. And he kind of stays there, like halberd in hand, and says, all right, please, after you.
Of course. Why don't you lead the way, my friend? And he will walk with them to escort them back to his quarters.
Yeah.
And as he's doing this, Garrus is 100% like doing a full like ocular pat down, trying to figure out his gait, trying to figure out how he carries himself, trying to do anything that he can pinpoint this kid out in a crowd easily.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that hard. He's wearing big armor, so there's only 6 of them here, so you can definitely keep an eye on him that way. It would be very easy to notice him in any sort of group because he's wearing his Royal Guard uniform. But yeah, I mean, you're close enough now that you can easily identify him from the other Royal Guards. And you reach the end of the hall with Duke Fontaine, and he heads in, and I think he like moves across the chamber and just kind of like tries to casually sit on one of the lounge chairs in this, like, again, it's like in a suite, like an apartment here. I mean, there's the main living area before bedroom. He sits on one of the lounges there and then just kind of like slides back in it, head lolling backwards, and then you begin to hear him snore. And Aden and Remy stands there at the door and says, right, I will wait at the door.
Of course. Let me ask you this. This your first night? You can be honest. It is just the 2 of us. I can tell after what your commanding officer did to. Is this your first night?
Was it that obvious?
I won't say it was obvious, but it does seem like you are a bit nervous about what's going on right now.
About this? No. I can babysit. That's not a problem.
Then why are you so so uptight? I know this is probably just a day in the park for you. Yes.
He gives a polite smile and says, I'm merely adjusting to my new charge.
Well, you know what I'll say to that? I'll say congratulations to your new charge.
Thank you, my lord. I will leave the 2 of you to it. If you should need anything, or if he awakes sick, please notify me and I will fetch some of the staff.
Thank you very much. That will be all.
And he steps out the door.
Okay, Garas, you have this guy, you have a trunk here, you have the guard outside. How am I going to get out of this one? I think that's what he does for the scene.
And that's where we will leave Garas for now.
How are the boys going to get themselves out of this one?
Also, in my mind, Duke Fontaine is played by Matt Berry.
Those the Cartier boys are at it again.
Venehn and Yaz, the 2 of you pick up the hour outside of this this vault. What do you do?
Got to get in. Here's alright. Everyone's at dinner. I think we'll have a second. Here's my plan. You tell me if this jives with your plan. The Royal Guard, they didn't show up with the fancy points until like 2 hours in, or whatever. I imagine after dinner, and whatever that sort of fanciful stuff is, they put the points away, they go back to doing whatever it is they're doing. So, we get in, the gate, right? That's probably going to be the next 45 minutes. But we get in, I will hide. Maybe snoop around, but I hide. And I will wait. And then when they bring the points back, I will make the swap. You go do whatever it is you want to do. The apartments are your oyster. You snag the instrument cases, you bring them back, you meet me, put the real ones in, and away we go.
Alright. Who's getting the door open?
I thought about everything else because I was avoiding the door problem because it looks like a scary door.
Oh, give me a moment. I might need your help.
Okay. I have little fingers.
You're muted.
It is dexterity. Do you have a lockpicking focus?
I have legerdemain, which is pickpocketing. But we do have that fancy thing where if we fail a lockpick check, we can roll again and take the second roll.
We do have that.
Do we have that?
It's called thievery. We all have it.
Oh.
Thievery.
So is this just a whose dexterity is better?
I guess,
Yeah.
Mine's a 4.
Mine's
Then
a
yours is
5.
a 5, right?
Then,
You can assist, or one of you can assist and give a +1 on it, too.
sure.
Okay. Yeah, it's if you fail it, it's thievery. If you fail a dexterity lockpicking check and you reroll it, you must keep the results of the second roll.
Okay.
Alright. You get
Alright.
+1.
It's pretty good. That's an 18.
+1.
That's a 19.
Okay. Do you want to take that one, or do you want to roll again?
I don't think I'm gonna roll much better than that.
That's a really good roll too.
It does say if we fail it.
Oh, it does
So
say
we
if you
can-
fail?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's true.
Oh, so I have to tell
So-
you if you fail.
so you
right?
have to tell me if I
Uh-huh.
fail. Oh.
Damn it. I like it better if I can sit here like poker face. And
No, it's if you fail.
Okay, that's fine.
That's
I think it's
fine.
interesting that it puts the addendum like you must take the second roll, like you wouldn't do that anyway. But I guess if you fail really badly, then I could fuck you up with it. Did you get any stunts?
No.
No. Okay. All right. You begin working on this lock.
I would like to keep an eye out if I can as well.
Yeah. I was saying because you're assisting, you're committing yourself to this
Okay, never
action
mind.
as well. And if you want to do something else, you'll make an additional check. So the two of you working on this lock. I assume you're starting with the outside lock and not like working through the bars for the inside lock.
No, I squeeze myself through the bar.
Yeah, this is a very heavy lock, and it takes a lot. I think it takes 3 hands to be able to get this unlocked between the two.
Luckily,
You
we
kind of
have 4.
holding pins in place and then moving tumblers around and working on it. Yaz keeping an eye up and down the hall. Luckily, you're doing this at a great time because nobody's moving around these halls right now.
This is the lockpicking version of 2 hackers typing on the same keyboard.
Yes.
Except it's working.
Except it makes
All right, let me
sense.
get your hand on that.
Yeah. So as you're like holding the tumblers in place for Venehn, you're working on the last one. You finally get a click, and then there's like a creaking as you pull to the side, and then it unlocks. The interior.
High five?
I didn't
Can we
think
high
Yaz
five?
would do it.
Yes, you can high five.
Okay.
The two of you high five. The
Don't tell
interior
anyone
locks.
I did that.
Child's play in comparison. I'm not going to have you roll a second one for the next lock. I think that's enough to get you through both. So then you start working on the second lock as well. Yeah, I'll say this takes probably 20 or 30 minutes
Figured it would.
to get through. Most of that is the first one. The first one probably takes you like 20-25 minutes. The interior one doesn't take you nearly as long. But you get the interior door unlocked and push it open. And you can see into the armory. This is a very expansive room, big circular chamber. And there is actually at the center of the chamber, there is like a cage in the center with additional like chests that are kind of stacked up in there as well. But around the outside of the chamber are a number of like weapons racks with different armaments positioned on them. There's actually like a small ballista off to the side. And yeah, I mean, there's a fairly large armory here. There's also I'd say kind of an offshoot room where you can see almost like a locker room where players would have different places for their gear and equipment, have their own like lockers. There are a number. There's space for storing armor as well for the Royal Guard. And at the far side of the room, against that wall, you can see a conveniently an empty weapons rack with just enough space for 6 halberds.
Just staring at the cage and the chest like, you tease.
Alright, you're in. I would suggest closing the interior door at the very least, and I'll go get the cases.
I'm going to try to open the cage.
Alright, just do it quietly.
You
So
have
Venehn-
no reason to doubt me.
Venehn, is your plan to lock yourself inside here and hide?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll come up with a little knock.
Secret knock.
Yeah, so that when I come by with the case.
Okay.
I double
don't-
check that I can get out from the inside.
Now here's my question: do you have the forgeries with you now, or you once they've dropped theirs off, then
We're
it's
gonna
gonna
make
come
the
by
swap, yeah.
with the forgeries. You'll make the swap. And
Yeah.
then- okay.
But I'm
I
already
will-
in here. I've preemptively done the lock picking.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
And now
I'll
I get to
say
spend the next hour searching for treasure.
I'll say you can easily they can lock from the inside easily.
It's like a
enough.
safety lock. Like, you can't lock yourself in here accidentally, like a freezer.
Guys!
I'll say the interior door can lock from the inside. The gate does not.
Okay. So Yaz is gonna have to relock it.
Yeah.
okay.
I won't make you make a check for relocking the gate, but you will have to make another check to open it again when you're trying to get out. Does
Okay.
that sound fair?
That sounds fair.
I feel good about those chances.
Okay.
Should I?
You as you say goodbye to Venehn, close the gate.
Oh.
What?
You're going back out, right?
Yes.
Tell Wolf I got hung up, but I will meet him before we leave.
Why are you meeting with Wolf?
He was creeping around following some of the, what's her face? Janelle? Duchess Janelle? The left hand? He was creeping around following them like I was, and so we agreed to split up and trade some information.
I could retrieve the information, make things easier.
That's true, but you have to tell me later.
Why wouldn't I?
I don't know. Why do you do anything you do? You're a mystery to me.
I'm doing it right then. I promise to tell you the information I received from Wolf.
Okay. Yasmera, some like quick bullet points. I just don't want him to think that I'm like, going back on their deal.
No, you sent an emissary.
An emissary would really like to talk to him.
Wherever did you get that idea?
You do have one tell. I don't think anybody else would notice, but the center of your right eyebrow goes like this. Just a little bit. You might want to work on that.
You are absurd. However, I will do this for you.
Eyebrows are like half my game. Come on.
Fine. So 10:30, I'll bring by the cases.
Okay.
Fine.
Bring an extra one just in case.
Oh, yes, of course. Makes things look less suspicious.
I meant in case I see what's in this cage.
Oh, fair. Alright.
But if you want plausible deniability, sure. We're not also doing that crime. Just the one.
Naturally. All right, stay hidden.
Goodbye, don't let me starve to death in here.
I wouldn't dream of it. Yaz leaves. If it can be my second thing, fine. But Yaz would like to come back downstairs to dinner and clock who is waiting upon the royals. What servants are waiting upon them?
Okay. Yeah, this will be a second action.
Fine.
So,
Sorry, I
you
keep
wanna-
taking up all of Yaz's actions. Yes,
No, it's
okay.
good.
it's my shenanigans.
Yeah, we'll have enough time for maybe 1 or 2 additional actions for this hour if other people... Does anybody else have an additional action they want to do this hour?
I'm stuck in a room with a drunk, so
Drunk tank.
Do I have to make an etiquette check if no one can see me?
Yes.
Damn. I'll wait. I'll wait till after dinner.
What's the penalty for 2 points ire?
2 points of ire is that -1 penalty becomes on for the rest of the night. Or no, sorry, it's -3 on social checks for the rest of the night.
Oof.
And then 3 points of ire, automatic failure on social checks for the rest of the night.
Wait, is the difficulty gonna go up again?
Yes.
Shit. Maybe I should do my crime now.
It's 17 right now. It's gonna be 19 next hour.
Crime
now.
now, hide next hour.
Do it.
Let's do Yaz's, and then we'll come back for Venehn to do so. Well, I guess both of you could go ahead and make your etiquette checks if you're planning on doing something else.
Why can't I have this on other things? That's a 655. So that's already a 16, 17. Yeah, it's an 18.
So you succeed.
18.
You also succeed. Damn, you two are killing it.
664. I stunted. Can I stunt?
On your etiquette with no one
No, you
around.
can't stun. You can't
I-
stun on this check.
Okay.
I specifically wrote that in the rules. You can't stun on this check.
Well, and Venehn said he's saying some like really fancy words, like you, and then it's just like you motherfuckers. You have no fucking idea what's going on right now, you idiots, rich idiots. Stupid.
Stupid bitch
All right,
idiots.
Yaz. So you head back into the ballroom, and with the purpose of trying to clock which servants are. I assume there will be follow up to this one if you're able to identify them. Then we can loop that into the same action. So you head back in, disguising yourself kind of around the perimeter along with the serving staff. Yeah, I guess. Do I want to make you make a check for this? This seems pretty. Again, it seems pretty easy. That doesn't seem like something like you just have to look up and see who's waiting on them and notice their face. That yeah, that's not going to be fun if you fail it. So I'm more interested in what the follow up here is. So you yeah, you can head back into the dining room. You can see Carter currently sitting with Garahel and Saya. Garas is nowhere to be seen. And the so you kind of head in and get yourself a good angle on the royal table. And yeah, you can see I'll say it's between meals that have been brought out, but you see the Empress sort of sit back from it and wave a hand, and you see a rather like an older, more kind of refined looking servant come stepping forward and to refill her cup while she is eating. And so you're able to kind of clock them as they then head back to the edge of the balcony. What would you like to do?
Trying to decide whether it would be best. My thought is, I think I'm gonna spill something on them. I think I want to spill like red wine all over their stuff, so that I want to time it for the end of dinner. That way they need to go and change, and then I want to be able to be up on the balcony to clean off the remainder of dinner and make my way into the royal apartments.
Okay. Um,
Getting smirt.
okay, so I think here is
Would
what
this be? I don't want them like I want it to be.
Ledger Domain could work here
Ledger
because
Domain,
it's sort
okay.
of like a reverse pocket. You're trying to plant wine on his pockets. Steve Van just came back for that.
Sorry, I had to pee. Can you roll back like 30 seconds?
No, you'll get it through context.
Okay.
You had so here's what happens. You see them actually they're replaced for a moment as they duck out of sight, like heading down, heading what you imagine back towards some of the passageways to the kitchen. And you head towards you've been to the wine cellar before, so you know where that is, and so
Yes.
you head them off there.
I think like literally just like grabbing a tray from in the kitchen, just making my way down with some glasses, looking like I'm trying to attend to my people. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay. So you're what, like filling up some wine glasses or something?
Yes.
Yeah, as you can hear some footsteps, and this attendant comes in and begins to move to do the same thing that you're doing. Go ahead and roll, and I will allow Ledger Domain for this one, since this is kind of a sleight of hand to make it truly accidental.
These are on fire tonight, friends. So that's a 554. That's 10, 14. Plus the 4 is 18. Plus the focus, that's a 20.
Damn, and you got stunts, right?
And I got stunts. I got 5. Yeah.
Okay, these are going to be. I'm going to allow this as a. I'm going to make this a role playing check
Okay.
because that is kind of more. You're not really exploring. This is more in the line of role play. So, is there something you would like to? What stunts would you like here?
Let's do. No, I'm not. No, it's not her thing. If this
You
was
said you had
Wolf,
5 stunt
maybe.
points?
I have 5.
You could enrage him.
I could enrage him, make him like slap me
If
with
you
a
enrage
gauntlet.
them, then they storm away for the scene.
That's awesome.
That
They
might.
either have to attack you or storm away.
Bet. Kitchen fight. Let's go.
Kitchen
Oh,
fight.
do it.
I guess. I mean, like, she's not going to be insulting, though. I mean, can I still do that if she's just, like, so apologetic and trying to clean it up and all of that?
Yeah, I mean, I could say you since this isn't a comment you're making. I mean, you get him real good with this one. That can drive the knife in deeper. Like, this isn't just a simple spill. He is like soaked with
Covered
wine.
in wine.
Like you dumped a barrel over him. Like so soaked. Immediately he's
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, tries to grab, like, you know, just like a handkerchief and starts stabbing. My apologies.
I'm done with this. I quit. I'm done. No. No. He just storms
Can I
out of the room.
assist with it?
You just enraged that man into retirement.
Oh, that is perfect. I love this so much.
Man, I was just thinking, aren't the Friends of Red Jenny supposed to like support the lives of the poor and
We'll
impoverished?
fuck it. We'll
we
come back
keep
around. We'll get him.
directing
Don't
their
worry.
crimes.
We'll get
Don't
back
worry.
around.
Don't worry.
We'll help him
We'll
out.
help him out.
I guess clocks whatever he was pouring for upstairs.
Everyone else in the kitchen is just like staring at this, and then immediately goes back to whatever they were preparing.
Pour the wine that he was gonna pour, and makes her way up to the royal balcony.
Yep, and you have positioned yourself at the edge of the royal balcony, sort of appearing there, stepping into sight, and waiting at the edge of the balcony in case anybody needs anything. There's a couple people like look your way, give like a double take, like they weren't expecting you, but they don't say anything at that moment. And none the wiser right now. Good job, Yaz.
Damn, poor Reginald.
Sorry, Reg.
Oh, God, that worked
Only
out.
Did
Three
it. I
more
got
months till
Subnautica in here.
retirement. Only more months till retirement anyway. So
So let's finish off with Van. So Venehn,
Tell me about
You
this
are-
cage.
you are alone in the room, and you immediately like fix on the cage. Yeah, I mean it is similar to the lock outside. There's a big like iron rectangular cage that goes up to the
I
ceiling.
was afraid it was just gonna be like a cage that I had to lift. I was gonna be like, well, fuck.
No. There's a big heavy lock on a door that kind of swings out from it, and the whole cage kind of is like built into the room, goes like floor to ceiling.
Gotta try to get in there.
Okay,
I'm gonna try to get in there.
let's pick some locks.
I have to.
Go ahead and roll lock picking.
Oh, there it is.
The bad roll.
But you can re-roll it.
You can re-roll it.
Yeah, that would be a 12.
That's not gonna do it.
Would like to use my thievery to reroll.
Okay.
2 3s and a 1, baby. Did stunt. Not keeping it. I'm back. Quick as that. And
G in the chat. This man is broken. I just saw that.
I'm
Reg.
sorry.
You ruined his life.
Ruined his life.
He's outside, like peeing on the steps. He's
We-
gonna, like,
listen, I'm about to get some extra great money out of this chest, and it's going to Reggie.
oh, it's gonna. This is the
is
extra
his
toilet
retirement.
paper for the castle. You didn't realize that.
Oh, please. I rolled
What did you roll?
a 19.
Okay.
Let me in. I have to
any-
keep the second one, so
Any stunts,
Let
or
me
did you?
no.
Okay.
That's
so
the
you spell-
problem I'm having, is that I'm just bereft of stump points.
Yeah, y'all rolled stunts on like every check for like 4 sessions straight.
So I'm rolling really
like,
well.
Yeah,
It's just
that's
none of the
fine.
same numbers.
You know what? I'll take it. You,
I want to flirt with the cage.
yeah. How do you flirt with the cage?
Hey, baby.
Okay.
You,
no, not good.
have
We're
your
not doing
wires lost weight recently? No, that's shitty. I shouldn't say that. That's all I had.
You are able to very easily because it's almost identical to the one that you just opened, and
2 of the same lock?
you are very familiar. You've got your warm up and are able to click the lock and open the door. And yeah, inside there are a number of big like reinforced chests inside of here.
I want to know what's in them.
Okay. You
Are they
You make-
trapped?
you can check for traps.
I check for traps. They're in a fucking cage in a vault. Are they trapped?
Roll a perception check. We never check for traps here. I don't even know if traps are a mechanic in this game.
There are definitely tripwires and stuff in perception.
I think so. I'm going to my focuses because we haven't done that. I'm checking to see if there's a specific like look for traps thing. There's not. So just be seeing, I think.
16.
All right. No traps.
Pop those bad boys open.
All right. Yeah, you flip the latch and pull them open. And inside these chests, you find the first one you open. There is a very ornate piece of like set of like heavy plate armor that is like gilded. This is golden royal. You imagine this is probably some sort of like imperial armor, probably for the emperor or empress in case of battle.
Not
It's
that you
very
can fight in fucking golden armor, idiots.
it looks very expensive,
Do they know how soft gold is?
inlaid with silver and gemstones. It's very very beautiful armor, not but not necessarily the most easy thing to pocket and take out of here. There are a couple other chests though.
Are there torches? Can I melt it? No. Okay, you're stupid. Opens the next place.
Okay. In the next one, you open and find a collection of looks like journals.
Just like pop one open real quick.
They look like in the hand, like you kind of read through it and skim through a couple to get some context. They look like essentially royal ledgers and journals, like kept by like decades of the royal family, or by the empire. You see dating back, you can like flipping through a couple, like dating back centuries.
Yasmera would love that. See what's in. There are 3, right?
There are 3.
Well, just open the last one.
All right. The last one you open, and you get a feel this is probably a little more what you were looking for. In this one, you open, and there are you see a few things. You see a stack of looks like metal bars that you gather are probably like they look silver. They're silver ingots, and there is a big old stack of them in here. There is also a few like weapons in here as well. One of them is a very ornate looking dagger, and the other is a there's an ornate looking dagger that is sitting in like a it's like in a case in there, in like a velvet case. It has a essentially like a deep green guard to it, or no, what's the thing? A sheath to it. It's metal, and the guard in the pommel of it kind of spirals up into a serpent's head. And yeah. Otherwise, there's a collection of there's a golden plated, looks like longsword, and a collection of gemstones.
Okay. Here's what I do. Open the dagger case. Take the dagger out. Take the dagger out of its sheath.
Mm-hmm.
Put one of my daggers in the fancy sheath. Put this dagger in one of my sheaths.
Okay.
Less conspicuous. Can't really carry a bunch of silver bars out of here. Gemstones, though, those can go in pockets.
I was even gonna ask, if we're bringing up a second case, could we do a flashback of us potentially thinking about this and coming up with a way to have this second case that had an instrument in it, but this instrument could actually be a hidey hole for goodies?
I'm muted. Sure. Yeah, you could do that in a flashback. You can utilize this rule finally.
Flashback stuff. Let's do it.
Okay. Yeah. So you need a cunning check in order to do
I
that.
can do that.
Please don't ask me to do this.
I'm going to say before you roll it, the
Mhm.
difficulty, because I have to establish the difficulty on it based on how
Okay.
likely it would be that you would have thought something ahead of time. I think this is fairly likely that you would have thought about getting greedy and getting some additional shit. Knowing y'all, I'm just bringing up my difficulty. So I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna put it average. I'm gonna put it at 11.
Okay. Is there a particular focus that this could be?
No, no focus
Okay.
is applied.
No
It's
focus, just regular
plus
cunning. Okay.
Yeah.
Not bad, friends. 5, 3, 2. That's 10 plus my cunning is a 3, so that's a 13.
Okay. On a success, I'm going to say we don't necessarily have time to play out a scene with it, but I'm imagining just you all getting ready for this and getting the cases that you need, and then it's just being like, actually, let's bring another one.
I think it was like the unified thing. Guys, we're going to steal all the stuff, right?
Let's get another case. So yes, you do.
Yeah.
You have a second.
So knowing that extra case is there,
Stack
All
up
right.
what you want to take.
here's what I'm gonna do. The third chest, the sword, and gemstones going in pockets. Dagger and sheath are already on me. But the sword and as many of the silver ingots as I think can reasonably fit in this case,
Mhm.
I'm gonna squirrel away where I'm going to be hiding. Close all the cases, close the dagger case, close the sword case, close whatever the gems are in, like make it look like it was. Close that chest, close the first chest. I'm gonna take out of the journal, the ledgers, like the most recent one. Take that with me, and I'm going to squirrel that away. And while I'm waiting, starting from present day backwards, I'm gonna start copying it.
Nice.
I'm just gonna. I don't know. I'm not gonna try to read too much into it. But Yaz might really like this and know something about it, so I'm gonna take some notes.
Okay.
And then when I get
So
ready to leave, I'll put it back.
if you're focusing on present day, this would be like the prior emperor of.
Yes, I want to know
Alright.
like the information that the current empress is working off of.
Okay, you could work on that. That's a lot to do in a short period of time.
Just as much as it is, it's not gonna be
Yeah.
great, but it's gonna be
Okay.
something. But
Okay.
I don't want to take them.
All right, and these ingots that you have, these silver bars, which are printed with the Orlesian seal on it, are pretty. These are pretty hefty. And so yeah, you
Squirreling
can get
them
a
away
couple.
in like a dark corner and like
Yeah.
setting up a little hidey hole.
Sure.
Wait.
You can do that. Since we're wrapping up the session for tonight, I want to leave with one more thing towards the end of the night, or the end of the hour. Carter, as you are sitting, everyone has sort of disappeared. I imagine Carter look up at some point and see Yaz standing at the edge at the end of the royal balcony up there.
Hopefully not while he's taking a drink of wine.
Like clocking that. Garas hasn't come back yet. Venin's nowhere to be seen, and
And it's been
you are-
going for hours.
yeah, you are sort of gauging yourself, engaging in conversation when you catch an emotion coming from Garahel, like that hits you pretty hard of guilt. And as you look up, you can see Garahel is like has finished this play, was in conversation with Isaiah, and is actually looking up and behind you.
I
And
will.
then you feel a hand on your shoulder.
Oh, fuck me. Okay. Guess I don't need to turn around to find out.
And you hear a familiar voice. It says, "Good evening. I forgot your name. What are you going by? It's Comte
Sebastian.
de Cartier. Comte de Cartier. I hope you're enjoying your evening tonight." And you look back over your shoulder to see who Garahel is looking at. As both he and Isaiah are, you see this overwhelming sense of, you feel this overwhelming sense of sort of anxiety and guilt coming off of them as they look up at your companion, Arlo.
Interesting. Okay, I'm just gonna put that one in the box for now.
And he says, he looks down at you and says, "Would you mind if I pulled you away for a moment? I had some business to discuss with you."
Of course.
"Please, excuse us." And gives a dramatic bow and leads you out as you still feel that surge of emotions coming from behind you, from back at the table you left from. And that's where we got our session for tonight.
Intriguing.
3
more hours. 3 more hours.
No, we are done. Good game, everyone.
Woo!
Oh boy.
Put on some different music. We've had the ball music going on for so long. Good stuff. Lots
I'm feeling
of
happy. No, I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
No, that doesn't fit this. So we are getting very close.
Because this thing goes till midnight?
midnight. Y'all have 2
Yeah.
more hours.
Get 2 more hours. And they make the drop off at 11 o'clock.
The drop off.
The guards put the halberds away at midnight.
We're not sure.
exactly. Oh,
You
okay.
don't know. No,
Yeah,
they-
I'm just waiting.
yeah.
All right. Okay.
You're hoping that they will, I think the plan right now is that as they leave they're retiring back to the Royal Guard, that some of them will be sort of relieved for the evening, and when they are relieved, you will snatch them. So,
Okay, then I do have a plan now. All right, cool.
but we will see how that
I'm
goes.
just holed up in a fort, like having a great time.
Yeah, I
We should go to parties all the time.
I was
I-
saying this earlier, but like I came into this with absolute no idea what y'all's plan was gonna be.
That's okay. Neither did we.
And I'm starting to understand what your plan is now, and I think it has a good chance of working. So I'm excited. We'll see how it goes next week. I think we might conclude the ball next week. I know we technically only got through like an hour and a half of it this week, but I imagine
This was a very thick one. We had a
Yeah.
lot to get through.
Yeah, I think the next bit is gonna go pretty quick.
Pretty quick.
yeah.
We had a
So-
lot of continuation from the previous hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is great. This is honestly great. Let's go do stars and wishes for the night.
I have my star and wish ready to
Go for it.
I gotta give it to Sid and Yaz for that amazing ploy of like, oops, I spilled wine on you, and causing this man to just give up on everything.
I had no
And-
idea that was gonna.
Just to be
It
clear,
was-
we are gonna pay him back.
We are
right?
gonna pay
like
him
yeah,
back.
like
no.
2 or 3 fold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of these
Whatever.
silver
Apparently,
bars, that's
Kat
going right in
says
his
that-
pocket.
That
Yeah.
he stole a bunch of silverware on the way out, so I think that guy already he's set for a minute. He thieved a bunch of royal silverware.
And I did mention the silverware is gold in this that y'all have been
Again,
served
it's a
with here.
stupid thing to make out of gold.
Once again.
Well, gold plated.
But
That's
is definitely my
worse. That
best-
chips off.
I know.
Heavy
but
metal
they're
poisoning,
fancy.
man.
The
If
foil
you
is-
want
yeah.
all of your food
Hey.
to be, hey sharks, I've got a proposition for you. Have you ever wanted all of your food to be like
Hey.
Goldschlager?
Do you want to? Do you understand why these people are the way they are, though? If they're dealing with heavy metal poisoning,
We
Oh,
should
heavy metal
take.
poisoning all day.
I take an extra silver ingot to give to the man who Yaz dumped a barrel of wine on.
That is
you.
definitely yes. That is.
And then
definitely
we've
my
sort
list.
of righted everything.
Yeah.
My wish though is I just really want these chuckle fucks to get out of this clean because, man, it's oof. We coming down to the wire here is how I feel about this. And I feel like we can do it, but man, it's getting kind of tense now. But yeah, that's my wish.
Yeah, I'm locked in a vault.
Yeah, I'm locked in a drunk tank with this guy. I mean, I have an idea
I'm
what to do, but
attending
yeah.
to the royals.
Send him away. Get him to go put his weapon away and fucking go to bed. And then we're 50-50. We're
That is
halfway there.
100% my. That is kind of what I'm going to try to lean in for next week. But yeah. But that's my star and wish.
Yeah.
Also, my star is also going to Val once again for just facilitating this fucking amazing. Everything
good.
about this is so damn
So good.
good.
I love this
it.
mechanic. I love
really
it.
do. I really love this
Yeah, I
mechanic.
wanna do
Keeps
this
us from
forever.
getting too lost in the sauce. Like, it's so good.
It's so good. It really like keeps us on our toes and thinking ahead. It's so great. I love it.
I'm already
I love
thinking about who we could heist next. So we
Yeah.
can do this again.
It's so good. But yeah, that's my
I
stars and
mean,
wishes.
this is a pretty juicy setup for heisting.
Give yourself some credit, if I can.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
Thank you. I mean, I stole this idea 100%, but yeah, I am glad I implemented it. Thank you, Wally. Who wants to go next?
I'm gonna give one out to Van for just every cheeky little moment throughout the evening, like just always Venehn being Venehn, like telling the spy for the left hand, being like, "Hey, if you notice you get clocked, maybe don't make eye contact," you know. And like with Yasmera being like, "I don't know, like just make sure I don't. Why do you do the things you do?" Just talking to himself in the vault. Stupid frickin' nobles. Venehn is the
nobles.
best.
Fucking noble.
It's back.
You're almost as cool as Garrus's dad.
No one's as cool as my dad.
That's who I aspire
This
to
close
be.
though, man. This
I guess I'm
close.
gonna have to kill him. No hard feelings, right? It's because I wanted to be the coolest.
So speaking of that,
there can
my
be only
wish
one.
is
It's a
that
Highlander
Venehn gets
thing.
to kill Garrus's dad. No. My wish is Man, there's so many frickin' plots going on right now that I've got like half of a finger in. And I'm sure I will have the time to do so. My wish isn't so much something that you can do, Val. It's just I wish that I make some good plans and some good moves and some good rolls, and I get to figure out getting good with Velmont, that I get to kind of make some sly comments to Garahel and Asaya that they maybe should trust me. And I also would like now to find out why the hell our boss is evil, because I kind of suspected that from the start anyway, but now I got some little juicy tidbit there.
Harvey's evil. They feel guilty.
They did
They
something
feel
for him.
they feel guilty about Arlo being here and talking to Carter. So what did they tell
Yeah.
him?
What
Yeah,
did they
there's
tell
something.
him?
There's something I'm gonna get in there.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like to grill our boss is kind of oof.
Yeah, but if I could just roll really well on communication, but like Yaz would also be good. But I think Carter's deadpan stare, that could be a really good scene to grill Arlo with that. Anyway, that's
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
perfect. Who's next?
I'll go.
Oh,
Go.
okay.
Because my star is gonna go to Carter's deadpan stare. Listening to and sort of watching Carter really engage with his people, like with nobility for the first time for the first time in any like really intense and sort of cloistered way, is just really interesting and fun, and seeing you as a player, Sita, like toe that line between the tranquility and like, but I still know how to handle myself in this situation is really interesting and fun. I thought it was awesome. My wish is I want us all to have dinner with Garrus's dad.
Yeah, that's definitely coming.
I really want that
I'm pretty sure I said that last time too, but like I just can't, like it's just like it's like a woodpecker in the back of my brain, like, but we could have a family dinner with Garrus's dad. That would be
That's
really
just
cool,
what
right?
we do here at GGK. We do beach days and we do family dinners. That's just across the board.
The
what
GGK
we
motto is
do.
this: all our games have community outreach and family dinners
And anime
Yeah.
fights.
and anime fights. Yeah.
And to be fair, I
Yeah.
don't know. Well, I guess it is a GGK thing because it's not just my games. It just feels like it's just my games lately. But we did do.
It's also happening in.
It's done in your games too.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of my whole shtick.
yeah, every game must have at least one family dinner.
Yeah, so because that's a reused wish, I think my second wish is how to phrase. I want to do like, I don't know. I mean, I think Wally said it best. Like, I want to tap into another GGK pillar and do some community outreach. I want to do some real Robin Hood shit.
Ooh, yeah.
I want to do some real Robin Hooding, like even if it's like very low stakes kind of stuff, which might be like a fun diversion after this whole quest is over. Like just a real steal from the rich and pass it out amongst these folks that we are starting to know that work for these rich shitbags.
I love it. That would be perfectly in line with what we are setting up here, which is the origins of Red Jenny. We'll get around to it at some point. It's a slow burn.
Final episode. Run.
We don't even say the
say
name
the
of the final
name, and then
episode.
the title screen pops up, and the credits
Yeah.
start rolling.
Perfect.
Some grunge rock starts playing, you know.
Sid, I think you're the only one left.
My star, I think, is gonna go to Garrus is in his element here, like 100%. Like fuck daggers. Like Garrus was just gonna be in his element regardless. So it's just been very fun to watch him go from like very serious conversations with the Marquise, and then grabbing his buddy out of the trunk take in like the next scene. It's been lovely. It's been a joy to watch. I've enjoyed it very much. It's just great. It's always fun when you just get to see the characters do what they're fucking good at. It's great. And my wish is I want to go. Okay, my thoughts for Yaz in this moment are going to be her first thing is going to go. Obviously, she needs to do her thing in the royal apartments if she can manage it, and then I really want her to go and have that conversation with Wolf. And I'm really hoping my dice fail me, like really hoping my dice fail me, and like the worst possible moments of that she embarrasses herself in front of her crush, because we love to destroy our characters. So.
Bump our head on the door frame.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit! Sorry. I'm looking forward to
That's not like Wally just talking about his own life right there, but
it. Buddy.
I love it. Awesome. Perfect. That's it. Good game, everyone. I'm so happy with how this is going. I'm excited to see how it all wraps up. Y'all had a good heist plan here, and it seems to be going pretty well.
We're gonna get all the side quests, and it's great.
I know, yeah.
we're getting all the Chivos.
Yeah.
Y'all have hit. I will say on the list of like events and scenes, y'all have hit most of them. On that, there's only like a couple of things y'all have missed in the in like the conversation lists and things
Thanks
going
for that.
on.
That's
Like
going
behind
to
the
tear
scenes.
into the back of my head over the next week.
Yeah.
I'll never get that
Can
out
I,
of
can
my
I
out of my
reload?
skull.
Can I reload
Thank
my
you.
save state?
Yeah, once we
Yeah.
get done with
Yeah.
this, we're gonna reload back and like speed run
Okay.
through everything to just get the stuff.
To get the other.
Yo, what's up, gamers? It's us at GGK. We're doing another speed run of the Winter Manor heist. This time we're gonna do a nice 15-minute speed run. Let's go.
Anyway, we'll just have to see what's going on. I'm sure things that you missed will still pop up here and there.
I made it worse.
Thank you. Thank you to everyone out there for watching. Really appreciate you being here and engaging in the chat.
Thank you for the game.
Thank you to my lovely players for being as awesome and amazing as always. Join us tomorrow for the next Squire Squad, I believe, on Tuesday. I don't know if we got the confirmation on that during the stream or for but they should be here for something for Tabletop Tuesdays. If not, we've got a bunch of lineup for streams throughout the week. Check out all those. But we will see everyone back here in 1 week to continue our game. And until next time, good game and good night, Internet.
Par-delà le temps, la menace grandit. Si loin dans le silence, on entend ses cris. Par-delà les terres, son nom fait frémir. Préparez-vous, le néant arrive. Les légendes ne se trompent